Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Missed calls, slow replies, messages scattered everywhere. If you're running a business, that's not just annoying, it's revenue slipping away. That's where Quo comes in, spelled Q-U-O. Quo is the #1 rated business phone system on G2. One shared business number for calls and texts. Stop missing customers. Start capturing every opportunity. Try Quo free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/tech. That's QUO.com/tech. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers.
Hello, and welcome back to the Psycholegal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back with Sister Wives, Season 20, Episode 7. You're like a stripper. I'm like a pole. And whoa, what an image. Before we get into the show, though, a couple things. We are going to talk about Special Forces because it was Kody's week this past week, and so have a lot to say about that. But before we even do that, Brooke, I'm here to get your reaction because I just saw on Instagram Kim K did not pass the bar.
No, and I have been counting down to this day because, look, I remember what it was like to be those, you take the bar and then you kind of put it out of your mind because it takes several months you take it in July, you don't get the results till November in California. And, you forget about it at first, you go about your life. But then once you hit October, and the countdown starts coming, I remember what that was like. And I remember logging on and this was 1997, people. Okay.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. I had this raggedy laptop, and it was one of the first years that you could actually go online and get your results, that they even had the technology to do that. So this raggedy laptop that Dad had given to me from his office, and did nothing, there was, with the AOL dial-up internet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I remember I logged on to what I was supposed to do. It came out at 6:00 at night. And, they send you a code. You put in this code. And the first time I put in the code, I was so nervous that I knew when I was entering the code that I'm like, I think I put this in wrong. But I kept going. And then I hit enter. And then I got this message that said, this person does not appear on the pass list. And I was like, that's not right. That's how confident I was that I had passed. And so I went back, started over, did it again, put in my information again, very carefully, paying more attention. And then it said, congratulations, you passed. So yeah, Mom always says, she's like, I can't believe you just knew that you passed and you knew you'd made a mistake. Yeah, I did. But anyway, so poor Kim.
Yeah, I know.
It's terrible.
I feel for her because no matter what you think about her, how she's spent her life and her money or whatever it is, it is hard. And I remember when I was taking my exams to become a therapist, I felt a lot of pressure to because you and Dad both passed the bar on the first try. And I'm like, I can't be the one that fails. Like because it's pressure.
Good motivation.
But it's motivation, but it's also pressure. And I can't, she's under, Kim K is under a tremendous amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel for her. And also I know because of people that, I've certainly had colleagues and friends that, I would trust implicitly who failed, so it's really, I feel bad because it's this thing that you have to go through, but at the same time, it's a little bit like it's a standardized test and so many things could go wrong. It's not a measure of intelligence or how much you care or whether or not you're going to be even good at the job. It's about jumping through hoops.
Well, and the thing is you take a bar review course, which is like 2 months long, to basically teach you how to take the test.
Yeah, same thing. I took those same things. Yep.
It's not how well you know it. It's just, and part of the test is multiple choice, which as a lawyer who's taught to think critically, multiple choice always really tripped me up because there was always 2 answers that arguably could be correct.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you sit there and you think about it too long, you're wasting time and you're probably going to pick the wrong answer. So they teach you that this is the right answer.
Yeah.
They ask you this, if they ask it this way, that you answer this way. And you kind of have to put all of your, whatever you just spent 3-4 years learning, you have to put it aside and just figure out how to take this test.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no different than the SAT or the LSAT or the GRE or any of these tests.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It's a standardized test. But so she posted this on her Instagram stories. So she said, well, I'm not a lawyer yet. I just play a very well-dressed one on TV. 6 years into this law journey, and I'm still all in until I pass the bar. No shortcuts, no giving up, just more studying and even more determination. Thank you to everyone who has supported and encouraged me along the way so far. Falling short isn't failure, it's fuel. I was so close to passing the exam, and that only motivates me even more. Let's go. So very gracious, very
and very open. I don't know if I would want to be posting that.
I know the day after. I mean, they just came out yesterday.
Yeah. No, it's rough. I mean, again, and she was probably very close. So it's like one question. If you had answered this question like this, then you would have got, I mean, that's the part about it that is infuriating. But I remember around the time when I started studying, I had a supervisor who was like, you got to let go. Exactly what you said. You got to let go of whether this is right or wrong, or, the way, like, cause I was getting into the weeds of like, well, is this true? Exactly what you're talking about. Like, well, what if this is like this? Or even, why am I being tested on this? This isn't important. Because by the time you take the exam, you've done so many hours that you know what it's like to sit across from someone so that you have a certain amount of knowledge. And that's what was screwing them up. And absolutely, they were just like, you have to see these as hoops. I mean, hoops that you're jumping through. What do I need to do to get through this hoop? What do I need to do to get through this hoop? And that's it. And then once you pass, that's the other thing too, is what happens is once you pass and you live with it, it's like you kind of forget, like having a baby. You kind of forget how long and arduous the process is. So people who are right about to take the test, they always say to me, no way, I'm not going to think about this. I'm like, oh yeah, you will be done, and it will be done, and it won't be such a big deal anymore, and it'll be over. So,
well, I'm sure Kim will keep going. I mean, she's not going to give up, and good for her. And that just really sucks.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that if you pass the bar in California, they don't tell you your score. They only tell you your score if you don't pass.
Same here. Same with the therapists. Yeah. They know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I passed with flying colors or I barely passed.
That's the other thing too. Yeah. You have no idea. I got my results instantly. Like they do the test. And then they say, okay, we're going to calculate your results because it's all computerized. And so then in between the time that they're putting your answers together, they ask you a series of questions like, how is the service here? How's the temperature of the room? And
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. And I remember both times, because there's 2 different exams you have to pass. Both times you're like, I don't fucking care but you don't care. You're like, I don't want to talk about
tell me my score.
Yeah. And your heart is just thumping, like boom, boom, boom. And then sigh of relief. And then, you can walk out the door and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, who am I going to call first?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, gosh, I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it.
We'll talk more because on our, again, quick plug for our Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, we do a weekly bonus. So this week we definitely have to talk about this and about Kim's new show, All's Fair. Oh dear God. And
your love, Rick Springfield.
Yes, he was on the show. And
when
then I was like, oh,
I was like, no way.
I was like, this is genius. This is, oh my God.
This show's brilliant.
I was very excited. No, it immediately, because after the first episode, I was like, God, we need some character development. We need this, we need that. But when I saw him, I was like, oh, I'm out. Okay, great. I'm happy now.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I watched the first 3 episodes. I think that's all that's been released.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, look, you have to take it for what it is. Yeah. I look at it as kind of like a soap opera, and the characters are crazy. They've got all these crazy outfits and this real estate. I like looking at the real estate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
How those houses. And so it's fun. Don't expect too much. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, keep your expectations low.
Yeah.
It's just kind of eye candy. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to McDonald's for a meal. Like, yeah, it's not how you want to eat every day, but sometimes you're just like, this is all my body can digest.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is awesome. This is all I can handle. But I don't want to go too, we'll talk about this on the bonus. Anyway, we got to talk about, special forces.
Yes.
Because this past week was a very Kody heavy week.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, watching him on the show is like watching him on Sister Wives. It's just, he is like an annoying puppy.
Mm-hmm.
He is like, it's exhausting to like watch it. And it is interesting to hear other people talk about him, like Brianna, Chicken Fry, like all these people that who have had to socialize and network to get to where they are today, who had to like, Sean Johnson, right? Like shaking people's hands, showing up to the gym. Like Kody really is the only one that really does not have, and you're seeing it like, oh, you really kind of don't get how to be with people.
No, he's so socially awkward. And I think, because on the show, we're seeing more of his awkwardness now that the family has all fallen away. But before, he was always around family who he was comfortable with, and he had a certain way he would be and comfort level. And then outside of that, when he goes out in public, like we'll talk about this later in the show when they go to that bar to learn how to dance or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so socially awkward around strangers and other people. And on this show, he's so socially awkward. Wow. He's really stunted.
But it was so funny because when he left their little bunk area and Brianna turns to everyone, it's like, we've all been in this situation where we're part of a group project or like camp or, sorority or something where you're a little bit like, listen, we all like this person, but they're nuts or they're difficult to deal with. And Brianna's like, listen, she's basically like giving everyone a pep talk, but he's ours. So we need to be nice to him. Like they're kind of strategizing on how do we deal with this crazy, and it's crazy, but it's also he's annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying. And we all have been there with someone that is super annoying, whether it's at the slumber party or wherever, and they do not get it. They don't get it. And I hope that wasn't me. But listen, if you've had a lot of these conversations about the annoying person, then it wasn't you. But if you've never had a conversation ever, it might be you.
Yeah.
Might be you.
Yeah. I mean, he's manic. He's he's ADHD. He's like all over the place. He's like a puppy. He's totally like a puppy.
And they're all laughing at him.
Yeah.
Not the staff, the people in charge, his fellow contestants. And my guess would be is I think he's made a lot of really goofy, inappropriate, I think misogynistic comments. And I think, I think they're, especially Gia and Brianna, who are the young females, and probably Sean, they're kind of trying to figure out how do we manage this and not, because they don't want to get into this big fight with him out in the middle of this desert,
Yeah.
It's like, this is not the moment in time where they need to be sticking up for themselves. It's a little bit like, they're just trying to figure out how to manage this. So
yeah, they're just trying to survive a couple more days. They're down to the end here. But yeah, so and when he has his the little interviews where he's dressed normally and little confessional thing, he just says the strangest things. Like he says, I needed this like I needed air. Challenge makes you feel alive. Feeling alive makes you feel masculine.
Yeah. Masculine thing came back up.
Yeah. So there's, I saw someone on TikTok who was talking about how he's talking very much like this manosphere person. Let me see if I can, his name is Jordan something. Let's see if I can find it.
Is it Jordan Peterson, or am I thinking?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Jordan Peterson.
And I know this name because I hear people talking about, but I don't know what he looks like or anything else. I just know he's part of that world.
Yeah, he's Canadian, I believe.
Oh, great.
And I remember looking.
Does he live here in the U.S.? Because if this guy is up in Canada talking about the problems of the U.S., we don't need this.
I know he's Canadian. I don't know if he lives here, but I don't know. He's like the leader of the manosphere, basically. And they were saying that the way Kody talks and the words he uses and stuff, it's very much he's parroting this guy. So Kody is deep into the manosphere, like deep. And I think he has been for a few years. And I mean, if I had $1 for every time this man has said masculine on this show and on the Sister Wives, I mean, it's like,
we'd all be millionaires.
Yes. He's so hung up on it.
Well, do you think that, and I'm not saying this at all to like, I've often wondered if Kody did have interest in men, and that, I don't know, is he fighting this? Is he fighting these feelings? Because you doth to protest too much.
Right.
There's too much protesting of something that none of us have ever looked at you and thought he's not masculine enough, or what does even masculine mean, or any of these things that he's talking about. It's a little bit like, again, it's back to, and we'll talk about this on Sister Wives. It's like, you need to stop telling us
how masculine you are.
And also just stop. You don't need to we know you and Robyn have sex because you're a married couple. Got it. Right. I mean, it's like, it's enough. It's enough.
Well,
so anyway.
The love of his life, that guy Ken, from who rejected him, when he went into polygamy. And then when they went to the high school reunion and everybody said that they thought he was gay in high school. So he got teased. If they're saying this now and they remember this now, and mind you, back in the 80s,
yes,
you were in high school
in Wyoming. I also want to say, because listen, I went to high school in the late 80s, early 90s in Berkeley, California, and there was nobody that was out. I mean, no one was out. So you've got to understand, you've got the one place where you could be anything and no one's going to say anything to you about it. And no one was out. So I cannot imagine what it was like for him in Wyoming in the 80s. And that's why I do wonder sometimes, wow, if his life had been different and he got some job that brought him out to the Bay Area or to New York or to some other place, like, would he have gotten here and been like, oh, maybe I'm fluid. Maybe I'm, maybe there's something more, something more going on. That's what I wonder. But I think, like, that's why I think there's something in there in the back of his head. Again, it's okay. He doesn't have to do anything or act on anything. It doesn't change anything, but it does make me wonder why you feel like we need to know this so much.
And right. And when we get there, when Meri is looking at her wedding dress and going through that box and they find that letter from Kody, notice how he calls her his best friend. Mm-hmm. He doesn't he's like, my love, my, I thought it was a very platonic kind of letter.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
even though he says, I love you bunches or something like that. I mean,
yeah, it felt like a letter a father would write to a child. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Our father would never write us a letter like that. but it felt very father-like of like, it's going to be okay. Get it together.
Everything's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine.
Worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll figure it out.
But yeah, he signs it like your best friend, Kody Brown. Kody Brown. Wasn't very romantic.
No. Okay. So let's focus on, we got to focus. We got to focus on, sorry, we're 20 minutes in and we've gone in circles. So we got to focus on special forces. So so you have notes because I just remember the section that sticks out in my mind is when the staff called Kody number 4, whatever he is, come out and he just like a dog runs all the way to the thing. And they're looking at him like, hello, we established that when staff calls you stand by this rock.
Right.
And that's when he like, oh, that's right. Oh yeah. And then he runs by the rock and he's like an excited puppy that's just like
manic.
Yeah. And God, I mean, the thing is that he must be, I mean, I can't imagine how exhausted these people are. I can't imagine how their bodies feel. The fact that Kody is sticking with it, I give that man all the credit in the world because much younger people couldn't handle this. So he really, he is keeping up at all of that. But you would think like even this level of exhaustion, this level of your body being in pain, you're this manic still. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what calms you down?
Well, yeah,
does anything calm you down?
He's just going on adrenaline.
Yeah, probably.
Pure adrenaline. Okay. So, something happens where he's the duty recruit.
Yeah, that was kind of random. It just came out that way. And I think it's because somebody else probably left.
Well, he says he's a great leader.
Yes.
And he did the best to lead his family. And then he just kind of trails off. You see the guys, the drill sergeants. Is that what DS stands for? Drill sergeant?
I guess so.
Drill sergeant.
Yeah.
They're kind of making fun of him, before he gets in there. And so one of them asks, what are the pros and cons of your lifestyle? And he says, I had 18 kids with 4 wives, 3 divorces, never do it again, bad blood with some family members with my divorces, some cases with children, communication has ceased. This is the way he's talking. It's very disjointed. And he says there's certain things he won't own. Okay. I don't know what any of that means. It's just all gibberish. It's like.
So that is him saying, this isn't all my fault.
Right.
This isn't all my fault. And here's the thing. Nothing. And here's the thing, Kody. Nothing is anything that has to do with another person. Nothing is ever 100% one person's fault, except like an attack or something like that. That's a different story. But any kind of relationship, parent, child, partner, everyone has a part in it. But really, to me, that what that was saying is that, and he then justifies it. He says, well, maybe that's not the attitude to have, or maybe I shouldn't, but that's how I feel. And so it's very much that place of, that you need to take some level of accountability and you still won't. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think these men have much respect for Kody because, you know, he has not been a leader. He has not taken care of his family. He blames everybody for everything. And Kody says he's happy to be here. He cherishes this experience.
Yeah.
And then one of the drill sergeants says, well, when life and limb was on the line, it was all about you. Because they had just done a challenge.
Yep.
He fucked up.
Yep.
Someone would have lost their life, you know, if this was real. Then he says his calling was to be a husband and a father. Accusations of favoring, there were accusations of favoring. He's offended by his children's rejection. Doesn't want to admit he's wrong. Should have had a stronger relationship with children. He says he's willing to say he's wrong. His failure was because he didn't know shit. I mean, he's just all over the place.
Yeah.
It's
the
my
same.
fault, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw on, I haven't listened to the full episode, but I know on Little Miss Recap, Amy covers the show. And I think this was her post. I believe it was from her that was basically saying, you know, this is still Kody. Like, Kody said, because I think a lot of people were rallying behind him. Like, oh, maybe Kody's changed or they saw some version of him in this conversation. But I think what she was pointing out was, but nothing has changed with his family. So if all of the things that he felt and if he was going on that experience to have some sort of breakthrough in order to better understand himself so that he can repair these relationships, he hasn't done it. And she's absolutely right. Like, we all know. He hasn't
contacted any of his children.
So it wasn't like he got back from this trip and contacted his kids or said, I had this big experience and here's what I'm going to tell you. So I think she's absolutely right. Like, before anybody makes him a hero, watch out. Slow your roll.
He's saying all this in an attempt to repair his public persona.
Yes.
So he says about being a good father and husband, he thought that he misunderstood and was wrong, hated to be blamed for it, so he resisted it. And one of the drill sergeants says, that's a very adolescent way of looking at it.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's your fault. When you own that, you'll do something about it. And they tell him straight up.
Yeah.
This is your fault, and it's not going to get fixed magically unless you do something.
And so that adolescent.
Yeah, finally. Thank you. Yeah. Someone has stood up to this man.
Well, I hate to say it. Does it take a bunch of masculine men? I mean, that's the thing. I thought to myself, oh, well, maybe this is who he needed to hear this from. He would listen to them. But it's like, no, Amy's right. Like, what's happened? Nothing's happened. You haven't done anything. You know, this was filmed over a year ago or something. So, or whatever it was. So that's the part of it is, he's still blaming everybody else for you can't have it both ways. You cannot call yourself the leader and then blame everybody else.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah. And then it was interesting. We were talking, I think, before we started recording about how Tony and McKelty talked to that podcast. I think it's called Pop
Psychology. I think. Oh, Pop Psych, yeah, and I
Pop
think
Psych something,
but
it's almost the same as ours, but it's got a different word.
Well, there's no legal.
There's no legal.
A therapist and his wife.
Yeah, Pop Psych something. But anyway, what McKelty was saying was that, you know, he would call her, you know, back when he was, because she was somehow favored or something, and she finally just said, you know, if you want to have a relationship with me, you want me to accept you, you have to accept my whole family. And that includes my siblings, you know, and that includes the mothers, that includes everyone. You can't just call me and say, oh, here, McKelty's the one who will talk to me. And it's like, well, good for you, McKelty, like for drawing a line in the sand. Because it's bullshit. It's like, well, I'll call McKelty because she's traditionally, you know, been nice to me. But I'm not going to call her siblings. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think that And you can kind of see her thinking pattern. I think in the beginning, she thought, okay, this is my way to repair it. And then when she saw that nothing was really changing at all in their relationship, then, I think then that's when she was like, okay, we're not moving forward and I'm not going to be used like this. The other thing that I heard her talk about in that, because I've seen some clips of the interview, was around Robyn. And this is exactly what I said when we were on the Brown social media with Love to Hate Everything is,
Jody.
And this is what's, Jody and Amanda. So this is what's going on with Mykelti, is she is trying to figure out what was the root of my friendship with Robyn. And I think that this one is this, and I think this is a big part of it too, because it's Kody and Robyn together. So there's a little bit of, she's really trying to figure out, and I knew it. I knew like this was the thing that deep down inside, did you lie to me at 15? And did you manipulate me and lie to me when I was 15 years old and use me?
They used her as a babysitter.
Well, yeah, beyond that. But did Robyn see me as someone important and special because I am, or I was, and you saw that? Or did you see me as important and special because I was your way in? Or are you going to manipulate me? And that to me is heartbreaking. Because you're using like how we are, how we perceive ourselves, how the world accepts us. That's very important, especially when you're 15. God, I would just be livid.
Yeah, I know. I feel badly for Mykelti. She's just been such a punching bag.
Yeah.
So like some other stuff, he says he wants to repair all the relationships with his family, even with his ex-wives. And I wrote down here, and he's not being honest, not taking ownership of failures. I'm sorry I hurt or offended my children. And he needs humility back in his life. Okay. And then they have this thing at the end, towards the end of the show, where they each have to write like their last words to their loved ones in case something happens to them. Which is like a standard practice in special forces. And he wrote all about Robyn.
Yeah.
Talking
Not
about,
his kids.
Robyn is his love and everything. Yeah. And, everyone else is like, writing to their kids, like, tell my kids how much I love them. You're everything to me, blah, 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 blah. It's all about Robyn, his special love. I'll see you in paradise, It's like, I'll visit you in your dreams. I mean, all these like crazy, stupid sayings. And it's just like, my God, why is he so infatuated with Robyn?
Because again, this leads us back to, because he has got to make us two parts. Because we don't know what he's like when he is alone. We only see him on camera. So we don't know how he's like if this is all just performative. But I really do think it's layered. I think the top layer is performative, and I think the bottom of it is that he has got to, his family's fallen apart. He's been divorced 3 times, and the only way to make that quote unquote seem right to him
acceptable
or I can sit with this, or the world, people will still accept me, is to say I did it all for love. And this love is so big and so great and so unique and so special and so that, and that's why there's all of this. He keeps having to remind us, like, we're so in love. We're so this and that. It's like, God damn it, you two, like, give me a break. Like, God,
I know this episode this week, they're just bending over backwards to, show us how special their love is. And it's just like, whatever. Yeah. And, he can't even follow simple instructions, like when they tell him, when their session is over, like, he stands up and they're like, no, not you, sit down, and he's like, oh, and then they put the bag on his head, and then he stands up, and then they're like, turn to the right, and he turns to the left. It's like, you can't even listen or like follow instructions. And when they do their challenges and stuff, he every time the failures that he just for not listening, not accepting any input from anybody else. Just like, I'm just going to just go for it. And, I mean.
Yeah, he was paired up with Sean Johnson West, right? Sean Johnson
East.
East, sorry. Different direction. Okay, so, and I mean, and we learned a bit more about her on this episode. And yeah, I mean, she's incredibly, she's
a tough motherfucker.
She's a tough motherfucker. And she's also she is an Olympian. She is a gold medal winner, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that's the other part of it too, is if anybody else would see her and be intimidated, be like, okay, I'm going to let her lead, or okay, I got to listen to her. But no, all he sees is female. I swear to God, all he sees is she's a female, not anything that she's done, not anything that she's a woman.
Well, and look at how far Gia and Brianna have come.
Yeah.
I mean, did you think that those two would be here at like day 7?
No, listen, those 3 women that are left, they have outmatched football players and basketball players and everyone. So yeah, I give them a lot of credit. I do.
Yeah. No, and you're right. Kody looks at them like he's kind of making fun of Gia because she's washing her face.
Oh yes, this was a whole other thing too. It sounds like Kody's not taking care of himself. Kody is not bathing.
Oh yeah, they're talking about how much he smells.
He smells, and his attitude is really like, okay. But again, if you were all living in your own little areas, maybe, but that is so little respect for other people that you don't care how you smell. And again, the smelliness and some of this is kind of a neurodivergent. There's something here. I'm telling you, there's some kind of neurodivergent thing here, because this is a big problem. And then I've had some clients, young clients over the years with, where you have to have these, you got to bathe, you got to do these things, because society is not going to be okay with you not doing that, whether you think you should or not. So, but how incredibly selfish and self-centered and rude that is, that you smell and everybody else is taking care of themselves and keeping it clean and nice for the group.
Right. Well, and remember when he and Robyn were moving and he was just making a big fuss about how much he smelled, and he was just tickled by that. And it's just like, yeah. And your family doesn't appreciate it either. So bathe at home or wherever you are. Whenever you can bathe. Like, that's the polite thing to do.
I love showering. I don't love like having to dry my hair and all that, but I love showering.
I hate that part. I hate the after shower routine, because I feel like it takes so long, but
unless you're just showering at the end of the day and you're like, great, I don't have to put on any makeup. I don't have to do my hair. Like, I'll just let my hair air dry. That's the best.
Yeah, maybe I should try that.
Okay. So we got to dig into this episode, which as we were talking earlier, I think was a really good episode. I feel like not much happened per se. Like there weren't that many activities, but it was a lot of, hearing a little bit more. And I feel like we're understanding Meri a lot more. I feel like I'm seeing her, and I feel like, okay, I understand you now a bit more. I'm here for Meri's journey. I really am, because I do think that, like, I could see Meri, maybe meeting someone else and getting married and like healing from all of this, because she seems to be. She's understanding where her anger is coming from. She's acknowledging it. She's, I guess maybe I never said that, realizing like there's some things that maybe I should have said to Janelle, like all of that.
Well, and also, I'm starting to kind of understand Meri a little better and having some grace for her, because, Kody's and everyone else, the way that they describe Meri has always been so strong. She's never really stuck up for herself or said how she feels until now. And I really, because Kody makes a comment at some point in this episode that Meri was so insecure and he had to give her like so much attention. It's like, well, why was she so insecure? Like, maybe did you have something to do with that? Because maybe you weren't making her feel secure because of your behavior and your whatever. And now, I mean, I really do think that Kody might not have wanted to be with a woman. I mean, seriously, I don't know if he
Oh.
I don't think he was like in love with her in that way or attracted to her in that way. Because I'm sorry, that card, your friend, Kody Brown, your best friend, this is from your husband.
You think this is like a Reese, Billie Jean situation?
Could be.
We'll get back to that Seeking Sister Wives.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm really wondering because, or maybe he just was never attracted to her. You know, I don't know. He was never attracted to her. He was never attracted to Christine. Apparently he was somewhat attracted to Janelle, although I think Janelle's standards are so fucking low.
Yeah.
You know,
I think she made him feel a certain way. And I think that's why he liked her. But it is, when you look at it, it is really interesting because if you just saw the first 3 wives, they're all blonde. It's like, oh, your type is a blonde, but the woman that you love is got dark hair. And while some people date lots of different people, I do think that people have these preferences. Like if you meet people, you're kind of like, oh, all these women got dark hair, or they all have the same personality, or they all like this or that.
Yeah. And
I mean, people have types.
Yeah. And I do think that Meri and Kody's relationship was somewhat arranged. Because remember, he was talking about how he really loved Meri's family, spent a lot of time with them. I think they were probably instrumental in bringing his family into the fundamentalist, the AUB. I think this was kind of arranged. You know, it was like, okay, we got to get Kody married and Meri needs to get married and they're the same age and let's just put these two together.
Well, and Kody and Meri are a little bit older than myself, but you know, when you look at the date they got married, I'm like 1990. I'm like, I was in high school. I was a junior in high school at 1990. And I'm thinking to myself, I was about 16 and these people were 3 years older than I was. I mean, I don't know no matter what Kody's preferences are, it's back to the same issue of you're all upset with each other, but you were all kids. You were all fish that didn't know you were wet. And then you guys figured out, oh, wait a second. This marriage doesn't work like this, or relationships don't work like that. Oh, wait, you know, even though I'm supposed to not feel jealous, I feel jealous. Like all of the things they encountered. And so what's happening now is, but it's interesting to see how each of them is now realizing that, but it's still Kody who's blaming everybody else for something that was like, yeah, but Meri did it too. And Christine, they all thought this was the path to go down. They all thought this was the answer to things. And you all were so young that what other, you know, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
You were in a cult. You were in a cult. I mean, no one's in there doing stuff of their own free will in a cult. So, okay, so let's get into this. So Meri just happens to have these boxes of stuff from her wedding she got from storage. And this is interesting. So she made her dress and her grandma helped her. And so she has this kind of sentimental tie to it because her grandma helped her make it. Because, you know, she's like, what do I do with this? And, you know, no one's ever going to wear it. And I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised. She seems like she's very sentimental. She keeps all this stuff. But all this stuff, like their wedding announcement. Where, you know, they look like a JCPenney catalog. A couple. And they're having a reception and a ball because Kody wanted lots of dancing. He's always been a dancer.
Kody loves dancing. And this was the theme of this episode. Dancing. And then I thought this was interesting. She was talking about how she was very shy, just like someone else we know. Very shy, and she didn't want to do a reception line with all these people because she didn't want to have to hug and, you know, talk to all these strange people. Which I understand.
Friends, which is interesting. But it's interesting. I wouldn't consider Meri shy today. But I guess she was shy at the time. And, you know, then Kody talks about how he just wanted to dance and he wanted to dance to rock and roll. But, you know, that's just
my God. It's like possible. Footloose, the Kody Brown story.
It's true. He just wants to dance.
He just wants to
rock and roll.
Dance, for Christ's sakes. Just let him dance. Yeah. And that was the whole thing. They couldn't have a rock band and they couldn't have any of those things. Right. So, I don't know. But then this is what I love is then they have to get everyone else's takes on things. So Robyn, of course, Robyn, you're like, Robyn, God damn lady, you are exhausting. She's like, well, was it a good memory? It was and she can't even say, yeah, it was a really good memory. It was a great day. It was a lot of fun. It
looked like she was having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
In those tapes.
But the thing is that I'm sad now. So now everything is sad. That's the thing about her that's so annoying. It's like, it's all one thing for this period of time. And now I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sad. So now I have to look back on this day with all of these bittersweet feelings. And it's a little bit like, no matter how the wedding or the marriage turned out, you can bring yourself back to that moment and feel that it was joyous. But it's all about other people, you know?
Yeah. Even Christine said in her book, when she said, I have to have some happy memories from this experience. And she lists some, and one of them was Kody and Robyn's wedding, that was a fun day. So if Christine can see it that way, Robyn, why can't you?
Well, she says that Robyn said, I accomplished the thing I wanted to accomplish. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So the thing that you wanted to accomplish that you're telling us was that you wanted everyone to have a great day at the wedding for it to be good, but not. So you're now saying you weren't prioritizing yourself, but it's interesting. Like, I accomplished the thing I wanted to accomplish. So you were really thinking through how you were gonna see. This is the thing. Robyn does spend a lot of time, and this is how bad therapists can be like this too, where if you are very good at reading people and having an awareness and understanding why people are doing what they're doing, you can use it for good or bad. You know, and I think Robyn, I don't think she's a particularly bright person, but I think she's good with people and understanding human nature and what to do and how to work situations. So I think she just the mask kind of slipped a little bit here. You know, that accomplished the task that you wanted to accomplish. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she wanted everyone to feel emotionally safe.
Oh, God. Yeah. I wrote that down too. I'm like, give me a break.
I mean, what? I don't even know what that means. Emotionally
My favorite part.
Safe.
Sorry. The best part of the whole scene was Jen and Meri on the floor. And then all of a sudden, Zona. She's like, what are we doing? She gets that is such a dog thing, to get right in the middle of everything that's going and be like, hi, you're both here on the floor. Because dogs love it when you get on the floor because you're their level. So anyway, I thought she was so cute. Psych Legal Pop. We'll be back after these messages.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, you know, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
I
was surprised to hear Christine say that she still has her dress. You think of all people, she would have
burned that sucker.
Thing. Yeah.
But she said
she took the petals off to make McKelty's bouquet or something, but she still has the dress.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I still have my wedding dress. I don't know what the hell I'm going to ever do with it. And I have a box just like Mary's of all the same stuff, like the announcement that this. And every time it's like, oh, okay, I'll just put this away. It's hard to know what to do with it.
Yeah, you should donate your dress to, some organization. I don't know if because I know they have people who collect dresses like prom dresses for, girls who can't afford to buy a prom dress.
I didn't know that existed. That's a great idea. I would do that because the thing was either you you keep it forever and do nothing, or you give it away, or you reuse it for whatever reason. But I've just, again, as we talked about, I'm not a big Halloween person, so I was never going to use it for a costume. But that's a really good idea. I should find one of those organizations.
Well, I know of one in
okay.
Oakland. It's called the Princess Project, because a friend of mine is on the board. And like they could tailor it a little bit so it doesn't look so much like a wedding dress. So yeah, you should donate it.
Well, and my dress is good too because it tied in the back. So it can fit a lot of different sizes. Like you could be tiny or you could be bigger, right? So yeah. Okay, I'll get all the info from you. All right. And then this is where Meri finds a letter from Kody. And dun, dun, dun. But first, we got to go to Flagstaff because Robyn and Kody are going to Eritrea. Now, Atria.
I looked this up online. I actually looked this up online.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How is it?
Well, it's very pricey. It's pretty pricey for, what it looks like. Yeah, they had this one, like, what are those, is it called a tomahawk steak? They had it's like a 50-ounce tomahawk steak with a bunch of sides or whatever, $300.
Yeah, we've ordered those tomahawk steaks. They're expensive, but they must have like less expensive. But that's the thing. You go out to a restaurant now and every dish, I mean, even pastas are $25, $30. So
the green salad was like $15.
Yeah.
So, it was interesting looking.
Well, I guess they're not really budgeting.
Someone else was paying. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's production paying for it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Kody has to tell us, of course, that, he and Robyn are going out to dinner because, they're constantly engaged. All the language he uses too is so
what
weird.
does that mean? Constantly engaging our relationship.
Basically, it's like, listen, because he's talking about how our kids draw all of our attention and we end up being like, and he's right, battle buddies or whatever. And that is what happens. But the way he describes it, it's like he's describing something that the rest of us know nothing about or that no one else struggles with.
Right.
Like,
nobody has kids and deals with this kind of stuff. But then.
Yeah, it's like, this is kind of how it is for anybody who's married with children is, your kids suck up a lot of your time and energy and that's the relationship. And you need to spend time together.
Duh.
It's just like, oh my God.
This is revolutionary.
Then this was this other comment that Kody made where he's like, oh, you didn't get much sleep last night. And Robyn's like, no. And he was talking about the kids and the kids, I guess it was the kids that kept her up. And Cody's like, well, it'd be weird if people, not weird, but I wanted people to think that it was me keeping you up rather than the kids. And Robyn goes, oh, that would be better. I'm like, oh, look at this. Someone's not so shy. But but Kody, again, like, we know, got it.
Yeah, we know you have sex. But he makes a comment about how, the kids, including their adult kids, I guess, are always coming into the bedroom because they want love and attention and conversation with mom. Okay.
Really? Dayton, Aurora? I think the little ones would be the only two, I would think.
I could see Aurora and Brianna doing it. I mean, my daughter does that to me, either over the phone mostly. Like, what does she do when she needs some kind of emotional support? Like,
yeah, I guess so.
The first one to call. But again, he acts like that's something crazy. Your kids, he says, the kids have a tendency to draw a lot of attention. Like, because he's never lived this before.
Yeah.
Because when he was with the other wives, they all kind of catered to him.
Yeah.
Like Christine was telling her kids, behave, be good. Don't get dad mad. Okay, we have to do the food he wants. And, we got to do what he wants. So he'll be happy and he'll come back, Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. He has no idea what it is to be I don't want to say normal, but he doesn't know what it's like to be a monogamous. He doesn't know what it's like to live this kind of life. And he again, it's back to the social stuff. He also kind of doesn't know how to be in the world in some ways and how the rest of the world looks at things. But then they go into this whole thing, which I agree with, which is, yes, you look in the mirror and you're like, who is that old person? But you still feel like you're a kid. Again, you still feel like you're 20 some odd years old. And then Kody, this is how we had to tie all this together. So Kody's talking about how they wanted to dance more. And of course, my favorite are when they do the montage clips of Kody dancing.
Oh, yeah.
And how incredibly spazzy and bizarre it is. And we see a clip later on with his dance with Madison at her wedding. I was like, God, he's just whipping her around. I was like, oh, I felt so uncomfortable for her. Oh, it looked terrible. It's not enjoyable.
Healthy, wasn't it?
Well, it was Maddie that I saw. That was Maddie's wedding. But I'm sure he
does that with everyone where he's like about to pull your arm out of the socket.
Yeah.
It's like swinging you around. And I mean, I'm kind of with Robyn on this one I mean, he's a terrible dancer when he does that whipping around. Mm-hmm. And what are you supposed to do when he's doing his spaz dance? Just kind of dance like parallel to him and you do your own dance. And he's just doing his dance and you're doing yours. And it's just like, okay, this is not fun. Like, so I understand, but I mean, where are they going to go and do the tango or whatever they're trying? Yeah, what was it? The horizontal. What was it? The tango, the vertical expression of a horizontal wish. They had to go into that whole thing. I was like, I had never heard that before in my life. And I think it's this weird, this puritanical, right? I feel like we're back to the Footloose town here, where it's like, oh, they're dancing close to each other. They're doing the tango. That means they want to just get down and bone or something. It's like, maybe they're just dancing. Yeah. Maybe sometimes things were just that. Let's see. But so this goes into this whole thing about Robyn wanting to learn how to, we should take a dance lesson. And again, this is the producer saying the two of you need to start doing activities together. So where do you want to start? And what was it? It was Meri and Kody. They were talking about how their dances were these old school, no boogie, nobody got down, no gyrating hips. And so Kody is so proud of like, but when there's a party at my house or anything I do, I always play rock and roll, and he goes into this whole. I wonder what kind of music he listens to. Well, but the thing is that I really think he listens to a lot of like 80s, which I would totally listen to too, like Foreigner. I think a lot of that early 80s rock. Journey, Foreigner. Who else am I forgetting? There's so many of them. Boy. Oh God, Styx. Yeah. Though I think it's Bruce Springsteen. I could see him kind of in that one era doing it. But again, he's talking to us like we don't know what rock and roll is. Like it's the 1950s. And like Elvis just came out. Yeah. Have you heard of this new thing? It's called rock and roll. Oh, yes. It's the devil's music. Yeah. He's gyrating hips. Oh my God. I know this is such antiquated talk, but whatever. But it's back to, again, Kody talks about, well, they say that I couldn't be tamed and, now I'm a monogamous, so maybe I can be tamed or maybe I can't be tamed. So, okay, Kody. Kody's going through the same similar-ish, like Meri, Kody, like all of the adults are going through some sort of transitional time in their life where they're really like figuring out, who am I? What do I want? This is the last third of my life, the second half of my life. Who am I going to be? What is it going to be about? And it's just fascinating to me that all the women can really sort of stop, except for Robyn, can really stop and be like, well, this worked, this didn't work, this was good, this was bad. I forgive myself for this. And Kody is it's always about the image. It's always about, how do you perceive me? You said I couldn't be tamed. What does it matter? And you're not even that wild to begin with. Come on, please. I know. He always had that thing, I'm a polygamist, like his thing that made him special. Mm-hmm. And now he doesn't have that anymore. So
No.
what makes him special?
No. Yeah. And you've got to figure that. That's a crazy idea, Kody, that you're going to have to figure out what's going to make you feel special. And you're going to have to find it yourself versus expecting other people to give it to you.
Yeah.
All right. We got to move along here. So
All right.
Greenville,
Go to North Carolina.
Yeah. And Gabe's visiting.
Yay.
So Peyton has a girlfriend. Gabe has a girlfriend. And we find out that Gabe is going to be moving to Chicago to be with this girl. I guess once maybe he graduates. I guess he's close to graduating from college or something like that. I think because they said, "Oh, well, that you're moving in like 9 months." So, yeah, I'm very happy for both of them. And then we learned that Maddie is 3 weeks out from pregnancy. So they're all talking about what's going on. And then they asked Janelle about like, how much does Kody know? And Janelle is she's so practical. She's like, I don't know. They haven't talked for a couple years. So he'll find out. Like, she's just so matter of fact. Like, okay.
He'll find out online.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got to go back to Parowan and the letter. And they read the letter out loud, and we have talked a bit about this letter, but you're right. I guess I didn't pick up on how platonic it felt versus, but I just remember thinking like, this is it felt like a very long letter for something that felt very small. And he was never really addressing what was probably underneath the feelings. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I know this is hard for you, but just, just remember, I'm your best friend, love you, versus, I know this is hard. This is what I can imagine you're going through. All of that. There was none of that. It was just like this letter to just kind of placate her or something.
Yeah. And also, why is he like getting home at 2 a.m. and then leaving at 4 a.m. or whatever it was, some crazy thing, and I'll see you later. And she didn't wake up when he got home. I don't know. The whole thing seems very suspicious to me.
Yeah.
Seems very weird.
But I love this Christine. Christine does admit that Kody was really good with cards, but she said, I told him at the end there, I don't want any more gifts from you. And then it was a pause, and I don't want to give you any more gifts. I was like, oh shit.
Good for you. But yeah, This is all sort of part of Meri saying, see, he really did love me, and it's like, well, okay. I mean, he said he loved you, but did he act
Kody,
like it?
Yeah, Kody, this is where Kody talks about how Meri was really insecure, which rightly so. And he felt like he spent a lot of time building her confidence, giving her all these reassurance. And this is where I wrote, this letter feels like a dad talking to a child. That's how it felt to me.
That's like a pep talk.
Yeah, you can do it. They find rings, and we get into this whole thing with the Claddagh ring and melting down the rings. And we'd never heard the story before that Janelle's mom gave, I guess she had a ring from her family, and they gave it, they wanted to provide like a diamond in that for Meri, to include Meri in this thing. Like, you're part of the ring too, or something like that.
Yeah.
She said it was very kind and very nice. And then she finally says that Janelle was married to her brother.
Yeah, she finally admits it.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah, and she did say that Janelle really did try, because it was awkward because of that. And that Janelle really did try to be cool to Meri. And Mary's just now kind of realizing this, I guess. And she says, and I never told her that. And I guess Meri was just so consumed with her own emotions that she couldn't see this from any other perspective.
And she is also, I don't know when Janelle joined the family, but is she even 25 yet? Has her brain fully formed? Like, that's the other part of this too, is that, these things happen. Like, she just didn't have there's fish that don't know they're wet. You don't know. Yeah,
because I think it was 3 years later. If she got married at 19, she's only like 22 when Janelle comes in.
Yeah. So and she's struggling to have a baby and all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
She felt inadequate about that. She said she felt like she was doing everything wrong. She was doing marriage wrong. She couldn't have a baby. She was doing, everything wrong.
All right. But we've got to go to Salt Lake City because Christine and David are fighting.
Oh, they've had
a heated discussion.
I thought this was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth on my thoughts or any of that, but essentially they're fighting about, they're fighting about Peyton, and I guess it sounds like what Peyton does a lot is he uses movie quotes, and I guess apparently when he talks and describes this new girl he's dating, maybe he's using movie quotes to describe her, or maybe he's using movie quotes to her, is this how he's wooing her through movie quotes? And David David expresses some worry about Peyton about, are these thoughts really coming from him if they're coming from movie quotes?
Right.
And if you're in love with someone or you want to build something with someone, shouldn't it come from you? And I thought it was an interesting discussion of, and I don't think there's a right or wrong in any of that. I think what it was that David was trying to explain to Christine, Peyton's going to learn wherever you go, there you are. I think this is the thing that David's concerned about. And I think Christine is just so sad that he's gone that all she has to defend him no matter what.
She has to defend him.
Yeah.
See, I thought what he was concerned about was that this thing that Peyton does is immature and off-putting, and you're not going to get a girlfriend like that way. You know what I mean?
Or keep a girlfriend.
People are going to think you're weird.
Yeah.
And because he says he's concerned he won't have, well, I think maybe this was my thought. He's concerned Peyton won't have friends or a girlfriend if he doesn't express himself from the heart. Because that's what he's saying. He's like, stop doing this movie quote thing. Okay. It's annoying and it's old. You need to just talk like a normal person.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's like, and it's true. It's like, yeah, you should tell a young man, or a young woman, you know what? Stop with that. That's, but like you said, Christine is so sensitive because he left and she misses him. So she's just blindly defending him.
Yes. And I don't think David was really wrong. I also think that these are all things that Peyton's got to figure out for himself. But maybe part of it was maybe Christine encourages it and he's trying to say to her, maybe you shouldn't encourage it so much. But then we go into this whole thing about how she would read all the kids. And it's crazy when she talked about it. She read all these series. She read from Logan to Truly, every last kid in there. Christine was sitting there reading with them and reading these book series and all of these things. And she just said life was too hard to be real. And it was hard for her. And what she's really saying is, and I think, again, maybe she uses movie quotes too. She said it's hard for her to express how she feels because she's used to bottling it up. And because the last 10 to 15 years were so bad that sometimes you had to put a movie in to escape.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that too. And I understand it. So.
And that maybe explains her Pollyanna-ish princessy thing. It's an escape mechanism. I'm going to pretend I'm a princess. I don't have to think about how shitty my marriage is. And, but I do have to say though, hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn is not from Hamlet.
Oh yeah. And I kind of felt like that's a really, that quote, I'm like, Christine, you're picking a really common one. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're picking some outside he uses this quote, but what is it from?
Well, it's a line from a play called The Mourning Bride from 1697.
Oh, wow.
A play written by William Congreves. Anyway, I wonder
why it's attributed to Hamlet.
I think Christine just said that.
Oh.
I don't think most people attribute it to Hamlet.
Okay.
As soon as she said that, I'm like, I don't think that's right. I'll look that up. But anyway. Okay. And also, I think Christine still has a hard time kind of speaking her truth. She's still struggling. She's still recovering.
Yes.
From this abusive relationship.
All of them are. All of them are recovering.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's go back to Flagstaff. We're at the museum club that he and Robyn, they pass by it all the time. It's right there on Route 66. And they're going to go in to have a dance lesson. And I thought to myself, well, Robyn put on her best floral top.
Yeah, she's
and
all
here
dressed.
we go.
Okay, can we stop for a second and talk about Robyn's look? Because I was thinking about this. This is really concerning to me. Like, someone needs to have an intervention with her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because everyone talks about how bad she looks and everything. And it's like, well, she's aging herself. She's doing this. She's got this real harsh, dark, dye job hair.
Yeah.
She, and then she curls it in a very old fashioned way, like almost like one of those dolls, one of her old fashioned dolls with the banana curls, Yeah. So that dates her. And then, she wears business casual.
Yeah.
24/7, the black slacks and a floral polyester top.
And the thing is, when we first meet her, she was, and that's what we heard from Christine about how Robyn wore form-fitting clothes. And, she really wanted to show things off and that she would wear tight jeans. And it's like, Robyn, I don't know if she feels insecure about maybe because she's had more kids and gained weight. I don't know. I think she looks great. And I think she would look great in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
This would make you seem so much younger. But you're absolutely right. This ages her to no degree. All of it.
She had a makeover. She would look so much younger. And also, again, the eyebrows.
Ugh,
they have not gotten any better. I mean, she's got the strip painted on eyebrows. And again, is there no one in her life who will tell her that doesn't look good?
No.
Not even her teen, they're not even teens anymore. And not even her young adult daughters.
Because
they
boys
usually will tell.
Yeah. Boys notice nothing at all. But girls, we were relentless with our mother. No, that looks terrible. And I'm sure Layla probably says,
yeah. She's probably nicer than we were to our mom. But if I was painting on my eyebrows like that, she would definitely have said
someone would have had an intervention with her.
Yeah.
But so why aren't Aurora or Brianna going, Mom, you got to get this together? And she had eyebrows. What happened to them? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Why did you have to paint them on?
No, your eyebrows, they do thin as you get older, but you can also just get a little brush and fill them in. You don't have to create a whole strip. You don't have to paint them on.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe her daughters are afraid to say something to her. Maybe they don't have as good a relationship as, we think. Maybe they're afraid of her. And they don't want to say anything to her.
Or maybe they tried to bring it up at some point and she got mad and then they got in trouble and they were like, okay, we'll never bring this up again. But you're absolutely right. I just. So we learned that Kody's special dance is called the pump dance.
Oh,
and this is where we see when he went to, during COVID, when he wouldn't leave the house at all, but he could go to his friend Brian's wedding to officiate it in another state with other people. And then we see the scenes of him and his ponytail dancing around. And that dancing, it is so friggin' funny. And you just have to laugh because it's like the height of COVID, no one's wearing a mask. Like you were so freaked out. You're just dancing around like it's nobody's business. And this is where we get the title. Kody says, Robyn told me you're the stripper and I'm the pole. And he loved that. All right. So we're back to Greenville. Maddie and Caleb, they're trying to make some plans for the baby. I guess, did they say that all their other kids came on their due date or before their due date?
I think they said on their due date.
On their due date. And Maddie is really big. I mean, she's bigger. I felt for her. And I remember being at that place where you're like, every day feels like exhausting just to get through the day.
Mm-hmm.
Just being so big. And so she's just, they're trying to figure this out before they,
Yeah, Yeah, they're making plans and like who's going to stay with the kids and whatnot. And that little Evie is so cute. She's
Yeah,
like
she is very
at the
cute.
table. She's like looks like she's taking notes.
Yes.
And she's asking questions. She's like, "What does observation mean?"
Yes. I was like, "Oh, that's a good question, Evie."
She
Smart
seems
girl.
very organized and
Yes.
like she's paying close attention to what's happening.
So tell me again, because this is during the episodes I'm not as up on. So Evie was born, I thought Evie was born without part of her arm and that they had an arm put on, but it looks like she was born without all of her fingers.
Well, on one hand, I think she only has 2 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of her legs was much longer than the other.
Okay.
And what they ended up doing was they ended up amputating the short leg, like under the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a prosthetic.
Got it. Okay. So that's the prosthetic. Because I do remember Maddie talking about this and working with organizations and all of that. And so when I saw her hands, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was her arm, but that looks like her real arm.
Yeah, no, the arms are okay. It's just, and so I noticed, one hand has 2 fingers and the other hand might be missing like one finger.
I think there's 4.
Half a finger or something. Yeah. But,
and they have any idea why?
Yeah, it's like a rare genetic disorder.
Oh, okay.
It's got a name. I don't know what it is.
Got it. Okay.
Names. Yeah.
All right. So we're back to Parowan. We're talking about Meri. So Mary's talking about how Kody, melting down the ring.
Oh, God, that was weird.
This whole thing. And so Kody tells us, goes into basically, Kody says, I didn't want her to have claim on me. I didn't want her to marry. So basically you melted this down because you did not want Meri to feel like she had more claim on you than Christine or Janelle. And it felt, he said it kind of felt like a command sometimes, like she was commanding him. And so we're learning a lot about this dynamic between the two of them. And this is my note. I was like, you know what, Kody, which one is it? Because that's a bit of the problem is that, what is the secret to success in this? And I think this is part of the problem, which is, this is a difference between a good manager and a great leader, which is Kody sees everything as, because I have a hammer, everything's a nail, versus someone else who thinks to themselves, each of these women are different people and they need different things. And maybe that's what Meri needed. And if the other women were fine with it, why couldn't you give that to her? It's this weird thing where sometimes he's like, everything has to be fair and everything has to be equal and no one person should have more of a claim on me. And then there's other times where he's talking about like, well, this wife likes this wife likes that. It's like, which one? And it's like, it seems to be the one that works to your narrative because you can't seem to figure out being a good parent, I don't know what it's like to have multiple kids, but I would think our parents were very good about this, which is they made everything fair, but they talked to us differently. Because we're different people in different circumstances and relationships, but it always felt fair. So there's something that you're not working on, because there's lots of other people that can figure this out with their kids and you can't. So,
yeah, Kody, God, yeah, he's really petty.
It was cruel.
Yeah. Just petty, just mean. And he's saying Meri always wanted more. And it's like, well, I think they all wanted more.
Yeah.
But maybe Meri was
more vocal.
Just more, she was more vocal, or you didn't like the way she said it or something. I don't know. But like melting down a wedding ring.
Yeah. I was like,
a ring. I don't know if it was his wedding ring, but a ring that Meri gave him. Yeah. And then she practically begged him to use some of it to make a necklace for her. Which he did. And now she has it and she's showing it. And she's like, what do I do with this? I'm like, take it to the pawn shop.
Yeah. Get rid of it.
Seriously. Yeah. Get it. It's bad. She said it's bad energy. And she was talking about like all of this stuff they're looking at is bad energy.
Yeah.
She really should not keep any of this stuff. She needs to donate her dress. You could keep, I don't know if you want to keep your wedding announcement or
have a
pictures
divorce
or whatever.
party, have a party, bring all your girls over, get a big bonfire, you know, keep one or two things that feel like to you aside from that, but burn the rest. What I kept thinking was, because does she say this about like, there's lots of other ways to express, I think, or did I say this? I wrote down, why did it have to be so cruel? And there's lots of other ways you can express how you feel. And this is where I was like, I think this was, and I think Kody did this a lot, or still does this. I think this, again, is the ADD. He's very impulsive. He's very impulsive. And I think that she said the wrong thing to him one day. And I think he took that and melted it down. And he can't now go, that was a rash decision. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Now it's like, well, I got to find a reason for me doing that.
Right.
Anyway.
Weird.
So we're back in Greenville. Maddie and Caleb are still packing their go bag. Axel is now going to be the big brother of 3 younger girls. He's not happy about this at all. He really wanted a boy, which I can understand. He wanted that last kid to be a boy. But, you know, Axel's taking it in stride. I don't love when Caleb said, well, you know, we're there, protect us. They need us. Like the women were here to protect them. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Don't start that now. It's like, whatever.
All right.
Gosh, just like a whiplash. Now we're back to Utah.
Back to Utah. And is this where they keep talking about, this is where Christine starts to get into the, you know, she's like, I like to have these real conversations. They're necessary, you know, to connect, but, you know, and to sit with it. And that's sort of what David's saying is that he's like, I like to talk about things and I like to debate things and I don't need to be right. I think this is the thing that Christine's having a hard time with is David wants to have these conversations with her and he doesn't need to be right.
Right. And she starts out the segment earlier with saying that they had a fight. And I wouldn't characterize this as a fight. It was like David expressed something, you know, she was like probably defended Peyton and then he wanted to continue to talk about it. She's really never had like a healthy marital fight or discussion or differences or whatever you want to call it, because I'm sure that if she said something Kody didn't agree with, he just left.
Or he would say she was wrong. And how many conversations I think the other thing too is I think all the conversations she ever had with Kody about the kids were probably always about physical things, like physical health, Truly's in the hospital, this or that. But what David's really talking about is, hey, Peyton's at a new stage of his life. And if he's saying he wants to meet someone, you know, and this is like a good parent is always a parent. They're always going to show up when you need them. And that's really what he wants. He's trying to help Christine be the kind of parent that Peyton needs right now, or to even just talk about it. Maybe he doesn't think that that's what she needs to do. But yeah, I don't think she ever had these kinds of conversations with Kody.
Oh, no, nothing was nuanced. Everything was just black and white. And and then he starts talking about, you know, the men in polygamy, because, you know, couple of his sisters were living polygamy and it ruined them. And, you know, he said the men in polygamy, they get off on these women vying for the man's attention.
Good. Thank you, David. Finally, someone is saying it. Thank you.
And they use it to control the women. And yeah, absolutely. It's total control because, again, if you don't do things Kody's way, he'll just leave.
Yeah.
He'll go to another house. Like he has somewhere else to go to, which most men don't. I mean, maybe they can go to their garage or their man cave for a little bit, but, you know, they still have to come back inside and, you know, go to bed, whatever. But yeah, he's really, I mean, you realize in this scene just how damaged Christine is. And even though in her book, I felt like obviously she'd had a lot of revelations and done a lot of changing and growing and whatever, but she still has work to do. Like you don't unwind like 30 years of that in a couple of years.
30 years. She was born into it.
Right. but like the time with Kody.
Oh yeah. The Kody
yeah.
and her childhood. Like, yeah,
Right.
it's a lot.
Right.
It's very different. Maybe for someone else who's only in a cult for a year or two. But yeah, this was, I mean, she's had to unwind everything that she thought was true and real about the world.
Right.
She's had to unwind all of those things. And it is a lot. But this is where we hear from, this is where Meri talks about, you know, what happened when Janelle showed up and she feeling wrong for feeling jealous. And, you know, I couldn't have a baby, you know, everything. Nothing I did was right. And it's like, yeah. But this is the other part of it too, is like has Kody ever, this is what I want to know. It's like, Kody, did you ever stop and wonder how Meri not being able to have more than one child has impacted her? And that maybe her frustration or anger is something to do with that. But it's almost like polygamy says, well, that, you know, you shouldn't be feeling that way. Like, that's a you problem. Like, that's not a marriage issue. That's you've got to deal with it on your own, or you've got to be okay with it kind of issue. So, but yeah, but then Janelle's like, well, I don't want to say all poly marriages are like this and blah, 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 blah. But she's like, well, there is a lot of secrecy and lack of empowerment. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. And she said, this is why we wanted to go public. And I'm like, yeah. And you guys all went public and showed us that it doesn't really work. Even when quote unquote you have all the right circumstances.
Look what it did to her. She almost ended up with nothing.
Yeah. You were you should be so grateful your daughter let you come live with her.
Exactly.
Because where would you be
going to go? Yeah. And if it wasn't for her getting that money out of Coyote Pass, and also let's be real, I believe she inherited a lot from Garrison. Because from what I heard, she inherited his house. He had a house.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Of course it would go to her. Yeah.
And a life insurance policy.
Wow.
You know, from the military. So I think she inherited money from him. She's getting this Coyote Pass money finally. And that's why she was, you know, everyone, Meri too. They needed that money. And yeah, because if it weren't for that, if Kody had like screwed her over, or just didn't sell or whatever, where would she be? Yeah. I mean, she has her paycheck from the show, but it's not enough to buy, it's not enough to like, build a brand new house or buy a house. I mean, that's why she was renting for so long.
Oh, yeah. I think Janelle over-indexes the fact that she worked at a job quote unquote, outside the home.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, that maybe gave you a little more independence, but if your paycheck, much like a sex worker, if your paycheck is being taken by a man and then distributed how he wants to distribute it, again, you are now, I mean, this is what a lot of women do, like a lot of very controlled women. It's like, just because you're going to a job doesn't mean that you had power. It just means that you went to a job.
She's delusional on that point.
Yeah,
and that was her party line for all this time. No, Janelle, you went and you earned a paycheck. Exactly. You turned it over to Kody and he decided where the money went. And then to add insult to injury, he had you doing the books and keeping track of the books. So you knew where the money was going all this time and you didn't say anything. You didn't say anything to anybody until recently, like a year ago. That, oh, by the way, and Kody was telling everyone else that Janelle controlled the money, which was not true. So he could blame her. And now it's like, oh, by the way, I didn't control anything. I just kept the books. The bookkeeper, and had no say in the matter and never warned anybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
Janelle
why
is problematic.
That's the thing. A lot of people think, you know, there's always this like, you know, some people are more Christine stans, some people are more Janelle stans. I'm sorry. I will stick with Christine every day of the week. Yes, she's goofy. Yes, she's all these things. I thought she rushed into marriage. I am with you and all of those things. But if you read her book, this is someone who is honest, who is real, who is authentic, and is trying to figure out who she is and the only way she can. And she has not hurt anyone, or she has never intentionally tried to hurt anyone. So I give her a hell of a lot more credit than Janelle with some of this stuff, because it's a little bit like you're supposed to be such this real person, but you weren't telling us the truth. This is why you went public, but we didn't know till recently what the truth was.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's still with this party line, is
Yeah, I don't
beyond
like it.
me. But yeah, and then we get this whole thing into garments and Christine saying she didn't want to wear garments and she was so frumpy. But we got to go back to Flagstaff because
We got to get back to our dance lesson.
yes.
So, this poor to Jordan and Elizabeth, I think were their names. Boy, they have a lot of work they have.
Yeah, oh
ahead of
God,
them.
yeah. But Kody
Because
wants to make sure we all know that the first time he and Robyn had a conversation was at a dance.
Yes.
And this is why
A
dancing's so
church
special for
dance.
them.
Right.
Mhm.
But they couldn't dance to rock and roll because it was
No.
a church dance.
No.
So, yeah. And it turns out Kody, he's like a squirrel. He can't remember anything. He's like, oh, wait, no, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that like 100 times to get that. Okay. Now what? I mean, this is just awful.
Mhm.
I mean,
It is really bad.
It's going to take him months and months of lessons and practice to get
But
this.
you just wanted to tell him, slow down
Right.
for a second.
Listen.
Watch what they're doing.
Watch. Exactly. Follow directions.
Mhm.
They show him off,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm sure this is why Robyn's like, God, this is why we don't do activities together.
Right.
Yeah.
She's thinking this isn't going to work. This isn't going to make it any better. He's never going to be able to remember this. He's just going to go back to doing his thing. And, she should just, again, this is a made up storyline, but I mean, just let him dance. You don't have to keep up with him and match his exuberance, as she keeps saying. Just parallel dance. He does his dance over here. That's what everyone else does. That's how people dance, like in a crowd or everyone just does their own thing. You don't have to do the tango.
Yeah. Well, but I think that Robyn wants to have like a nice slow dance with him not flailing her around, which I don't think is a crazy thing to ask. But you see how passive Robyn is? He's like, oh, Robyn moves with grace. I'm like, no, she's kind of half there, half not there. Like,
yeah.
So I was like, oh God, I can't imagine the two of you in bed. I really can't. Like, what is that like? Is one is an excited puppy and the other one is a corpse. And I don't know what's going on there. God, I hope they meet somewhere in the middle with some of this stuff. But it's frightening to watch.
Robyn probably just lays there and is like, okay. And he just does it.
Well, you know what? I bet you anything. She's like, okay, I have to just lay here so I don't get hit, or not like he's hitting her, but I bet you he's so crazy. Yeah, she's like, I have to put my arms and legs, to like centered so I don't get smacked in the face or something. Do you know what I mean? I bet you it's that. Yeah. I bet you the first couple times she was like, oh crap, I have to put on a safety harness or something.
Helmet. Oh, God.
All right. We got a couple more scenes. We're back to Greenville Baby Watch. Not much has happened. They're trying to, Maddie's thinking about going on a walk. They put the bag downstairs. Not much has happened. And then we're back to Parowan.
God, still talking about the dress.
Yeah, still talking about the dress. And she says, I'm not going to wear this kind of dress. And she talks a little bit about it, like about the religion, about what she was told. And she's like, she's realizing, suffering. Was she the one that said suffering will make you better? Or was it Christine? I think they both in their own ways were saying that, like, is this really what life is?
Christine was talking about enduring. You just have to endure till the end. That's their motto.
Yeah. And that maybe that's not right. And maybe that was a sexist, antiquated way. And this is how they're controlling you,
Yeah.
And I can't imagine how you have to wrap your brain around that. Like, not only your grandfather and your father, but your husband, like everybody kind of, all these men were in on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then this is the scene where we see Kody dancing with Maddie and he's like whipping, he's not whipping her around. He's whipping around and she's just barely trying to hang on. I felt bad for her. I felt like, oh, how awkward and this is your first dance with your dad. You want this to be special. Like, oof.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't dislocated someone's shoulder by now.
Yeah. No, it's just bad. All right. Did you write down scenes for next week? Because next week's the standoff.
It's all about the meeting on the property. I don't know if there's anything else. I was just focused on that. But yeah, there's going to be a showdown on Coyote Pass. I don't understand why. Why do they all need to be there? For what?
Production. I mean, they need to have some kind of scene. They need to figure out, like, production's like, listen, you're all in town to sign these papers, or we have to get all of you here. I mean,
and they don't even have to. You can e-sign.
Yes, I know.
They don't even have to come to town. So yeah, this is going to be a made up. Mm-hmm. But I mean, what are they going to talk about?
Not much.
I mean, this is either going to be really good or it's going to be just nothing, where they just all kind of stare at each other and don't say much. Or it could be a showdown. It could be, because I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
But don't you think if there was words being exchanged, if you think that they really got into it, don't you think we would have seen those scenes? Like, TLC doesn't like to surprise you with anything. They don't want to hold anything back. I mean, my God, they're showing you what's going to happen after the commercial break. I mean, there's not a lot of secrecy. So there's a part of me that feels like I don't think it's going to be beyond that, because I think that they had good footage, they would be showing it.
Well, maybe they're keeping it under wraps because it's going to be a big, surprise.
Hubbubaloo.
Time will tell.
Yes. All right. Well, if you are still here, thank you so much for being here with us. It is a long one. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. As I mentioned earlier, we do have a Patreon. You get all these shows ad free. You get, for the $5 tier, you get a weekly bonus where we talk about Kim K and other things and what's going on in the entertainment news, what's going on in our lives. We talk a little bit more about ourselves. And then for our $8 tier, you have access. We just finished up our Christine Brown Woolley's book. We have 9 episodes for that. And if you just want that, you can actually just buy that from Patreon. You can buy all 9 episodes. You can have them if that's all you want. But we also do an Ask Us Anything and a true crime that's just exclusive for Patreon on the $8 level. So go check us out. You can support. There's lots of different ways to support us. If you're an active listener of ours and you haven't already, please subscribe to the show. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Those reviews help us. It helps people find us. And, follow us on social media. We're on YouTube now. Yeah, just spread the word as much as you can. Is spread the word.
Tell a friend, and then they'll tell a friend.
Yes,
and,
exactly,
like the old shampoo commercial.
Yes. And if you know that commercial, you're about our age. So
yes, you're a woman or a man of a certain age.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Does your day move faster than you can keep up? With new Gatorade Lower Sugar, my family and I can stay at the top of our game. No artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. 75% less sugar, and all the electrolytes of regular Gatorade. Now available nationwide.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Hey, it's Christy.
And I'm Kelly.
You might remember us as the OG partners in crime from Dance Moms.
Well, this is Back to the Bar, the podcast where we drag out every insane, chaotic, and iconic moment from the show.
We're spilling the tea, calling out all the BS, and sharing stuff you definitely didn't see on TV.
New episodes drop every week, and yes, we're laughing through the trauma.
For once. Follow, grab a drink, and join us as we go back to the bar.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.